sequel 126 of the Church of Uganda at 150 years, a celebration. In this sequel, the sacred wedding of Bishop John Jamieson Willis of Uganda Diocese in Italy in the year 1925. Welcome. John Jamieson Willis left Uganda to travel to Italy in March 1924 by steamer to Kisumu and by train to Mombasa, then by ship to Eden and another ship through the Red Sea and the Mediterranean Sea to Italy on that port of Naples. Then he took a train to Genoa city in northern Italy. Now that was him. On the other side from England, Bishop Willis' only sibling and elder sister, Mrs. Cobham, the wife of Venerable Cobham of Devon, also had traveled to meet Willis in Genoa. They had crossed the English Channel by ship, and they also took a train through France and entered northern Italy to Turin, and then, of course, to the seaport of Genoa. In Genoa already was Lieutenant General Francis H. Tyrrell, who had retired from the British Army after serving with Willis's late father, Sir William Willis, who was the Accountant General of the Navy of Lee in Kent. So the fathers of the bishop and the fathers of his fiancée knew each other. We shall see later why. Lieutenant General Francis, the father of the fiancée, had served the British Empire in India, giving birth there to his only daughter, Maud Tyrrell, in 1875. So the two groups, the one of the fiancé's father and the one of Bishop Willis, met in Genoa. And after resting, they took a bus to a town called Bendigera in northern Italy. They were in the company of Lady Willis, the mother of the bishop, because the father had died and she was a widow by that time. So Willis had known Maud Tyrrell in Lee. Now in Lee, that was their village, the village of the birth of both Willis and his fiancée. That is how they came to know each other. They were village mates, and their village was Lee, the birthplace of both Willis and his fiancée. And actually they were neighbors. They were not only village mates, but they were also neighbors. Now this girl, Maud, was born on the 9th of May, 1875, whereas Willis had been born on the 8th of November, 1872. So they had an age gap of about 2 to 3 years. Now the two loverbirds were therefore in the same age brackets, and thanks to the efforts of Willis's elder sister for connecting the two loverbirds. Now remember, the elder sister was the wife to an archdeacon, Venerable Cobham of Devon. His wife was a sister to Willis, and it was this sister who connected Willis to Maud. Now the two loverbirds realized they have grown in age, and they were still single. So connecting the two was quite simple. Now the two agreed to marry, but given their age, they preferred a discreet marriage ceremony, away from home, that is England, and away from Uganda. where it would have been pomp and ceremony had it been here. And so Venerable Cobham, the brother-in-law to Bishop Willis, was of great help in arranging a wedding and also in searching for a small and remote Anglican church in northern Italy. You know what it means, looking for an Anglican church in Italy. But he was a clergy, and so he was able to do this and do it away from protruding eyes. Of course, a church was found in northern Italy. Now, the wedding day was a Saturday, the 21st of May, 1924. That is when Willis wedded Maud. Now, the presiding priest is not recorded, but the church is recorded as Santo Ampelio near the famous Clarence Bicknell Museum in Bondigera town in Imperia province of northern Italy. They found a remote Anglican church. Yes, it was very remote. And of course, I've told you they wanted to get away from paparazzi. They wanted to get away from pomp and ceremony. In fact, Willis abandoned the neckhood. Yes, here was a world bishop, but he abandoned the neckhood and he put on a tie. And so no one would be attracted by the old couple getting married. Now, let's get on to the actual marriage ceremony. On that Saturday, 21st of May, 1924, the priest must have said the words which I want to repeat. John Jamieson Willis, wilt thou have this woman Beatrix Maud Tyrrell to thy wedded wife, to live together after God's ordination in the holy estate of matrimony? Will thou love her, comfort her, honor her, and keep her in sickness and in health, and forsaking all other, keep thee only unto her, so long as you both shall live? And I'm sure Bishop Willis must have responded in a firm voice that I will. Bishop Willis and his bride, Mrs. Beatrice Maud Willis, arrived in Uganda in September 1924, married. And they received a tumultuous welcome at Luzira Port, led by the chairperson of Mothers Union in the Diocese of Uganda, Mrs. Kiching, the wife of the Archdeacon of Busoga. She announced that her term of office since 1921 was coming to an end, and proposed that the bride, Mrs. Beatrix Maud Willis, should take over as not even chairperson, but to become a president. So she would be the first president, no longer chairperson, but president of the Mothers Union. And indeed, so it was. Now, the colonial secretary of Sierra Leone, which later became Sri Lanka, was called Francis Grahame Tyrrell, and he was the only brother of Beatrix Maud Willis. And they traveled with her to Uganda to see where her sister was going to be wife to a bishop. He too knew Willis since their childhood stage, because he was, of course, a Demoko. May the good Lord bless us all.